I know you're looking for a cure for long COVID. I know this disease is miserable. It's horrible. Nobody understands you. I get it. And I wish it was as easy as going to the doctor's office, getting some blood work, getting the results, and there on the results paper, it says long COVID positive, and that you can just tell your doctor, and your doctor says, hey, I'm going to give you a prescription, a supplement, a pill. You take it for 7 days, you'll be cured. I wish it was that easy, but it's not. Sadly, that's not your reality. The truth is that your personality, past trauma, and getting COVID created this perfect storm to give you a dysregulated nervous system. And that dysregulated nervous system is unbalanced. It's dysregulated. Normally, our whole life, it's regulated. This time, because of these three things, it's dysregulated. And if you want to know more about what that is, you can link into my other video explaining the polyvagal theory, which explains this dysregulated nervous system. But I want to give you a little bit of tough love. I remember when I was a nurse and I had long COVID, I was so angry at the world. Angry. I was angry at my employer, which was a hospital, that gave me an N95 mask to protect myself and my family, to take care of sick patients, inches away from other patients that were coughing on me. They would give me these N95. I had to use them for weeks. They would get dirty on the outside. I had to keep reusing them. They refused to give me another N95. I was angry that the CDC went on the news and said, yeah, it's okay for healthcare workers. If there is no N95, they can use a bandana to cover their face to protect themselves. I was angry that I was this nurse who went to school, worked hard. I'm selfless. I'm a good guy. I'm kind. I took care of all my patients with love, with care, with compassion. I did everything good. Why is it that this disease got me? Why? I was angry. I don't deserve this. And I know you may be angry as well. I know you must be frustrated. And I want to say that you don't deserve this. You do not deserve this. You don't deserve this disease. But I'm here to tell you one thing. Life is not punishing you. The universe is not punishing you. The truth is that you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there's really nothing you could have done. This was meant to be your journey. And I know it's our natural inclination to start blaming, seeking to blame others. Playing that game of blaming is playing the game of being a victim. And you, nor me, we are not victims. There's a rule from a book that I absolutely love and has helped me with my long COVID journey recovery. That book is from an author named Amy Morin, and her book is 13 Things Mentally Strong People Don't Do. And I want to read you her first rule. These mentally strong people, they don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. When I first read this chapter, it was really hard because I felt so hopeless and I was in despair. Not only was I angry at my employer, I was angry at the world. I was angry that I felt like I was a disposable tool. Go take care of your patients and you and your family, who cares? And the truth is that after a lot of self-reflection and calming that anger down and processing that anger, the truth is that we were in a pandemic, a global pandemic. Nobody knew it was coming. My hospital was not prepared for this pandemic. My government was not ready for this pandemic. They did not have the resources to help the nurses protect themselves. They just didn't. It's nobody's fault. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. No one could have controlled this. And that's where self-compassion comes in. It wasn't anybody's fault. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't the employer's fault. It was nobody's fault. And that's okay. It's hard to understand. So this thought of they don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves is very important. And my tough love message is you need to stop feeling sorry for yourself. And I know that's hard to hear. I know that's hard to feel, but I'm here to tell you that if you want to recover, this is one of the first steps you need to make. You need to stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to have these emotions of depression and despair. It's okay to feel these things. It's not okay to live there. It's okay to think these thoughts, but it's not okay to dwell with these negative thoughts. It becomes this vicious cycle where you start thinking these negative thoughts. You dwell within it, and those thoughts make you behave a certain way. You feel negative. You don't feel happy. It overwhelms you. It takes over your life. I couldn't say it better. So I want to read from Amy Morin's book, a quote from that first chapter of the chapter, They Don't Waste Time Feeling Sorry for Themselves. I'm going to read it directly from her book. And this is what she says. It's so easy to fall into the self-pity trap. As long as you feel sorry for yourself, you can delay any circumstances that will bring you face to face with your real fears. And you can avoid taking any responsibility for your actions. Feeling sorry for yourself can buy time. Instead of taking action or moving forward, exaggerating how bad your situation is justifies why you shouldn't do anything to improve it. And I love that she says self-pity really is a way to run away from your fears. But what ends up happening is that it really becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy. Think about how you would behave if you felt all those negative emotions, had so much self-pity, and just felt sorry for yourself all the time. How would you behave? Would you be productive? Would you try to progress? No, you wouldn't. You would just stay there. You would have given up. During my long COVID recovery journey, there are many times when I said, I'm done, give up. I'm laying on this couch till I die. I'm not moving. And I know that cycle of giving up, having a little bit of hope because you feel better one day and you're like, oh my God, I feel so good. I'm healing. And then all of a sudden you go out, you do something, you go shopping, you go for a run, you go for a walk, you do something. And then the next day, the next week, the next month, you fall apart, destroys you. You fall back into depression. That cycle is normal because you are frustrated. You don't understand what is going on. But sitting, dwelling in those negative thoughts of feeling sorry for yourself, you have to choose to not do that. I'm going to repeat that again. You can choose to not dwell in those negative thoughts, those negative emotions of feeling sorry for yourself. You can choose to not dwell in those thoughts. The truth is that nobody is going to save you. Your government's not going to save you. Your doctor's not going to save you. The WHO is not going to save you. The CDC is not going to save you. Nobody is going to save you. Your family's not going to save you. Your friends are not going to save you. Your spouse is not going to save you. Your money is not going to save you. Your patience is not going to save you. No medication or supplement is going to save you. No diet is going to save you. Nobody is going to save you. I know that feels horrible, and I'm sorry that this is just a situation. I'm sorry that there isn't a pill out there to fix this disease. I know there are days that you wake up and wish you just didn't. I know how miserable this disease can be, but you are not a victim. You are not a victim. Unlike me, where I was early with long COVID and there was really barely anybody on YouTube and I had to wait a long time with this disease. If you're watching this video, even if you've had it for a long time, you now know the information. You know what healed me and many others. You can go on YouTube. There are definitely many interviews of people being healed using the same modality. Nothing special. Understanding polyvagal. It's really just calming down the nerving system. There was a question that changed my life, and that question is, are there people in the world going or have gone through worse things than me? And automatically I had a picture of patients that just found out they had cancer. Maybe had 6 months, a year to live, 2 years to live. I think about patients that would come to the hospital and were involved in really bad car accidents and were bleeding out to death. Some of them died on the table. Some of them lost their limbs, ended up on a wheelchair. So the answer to that question is yes. There are people that have gone and are going through worse things than me. As miserable as long COVID is, I've had many people tell me I'd rather have cancer than long COVID. I resonate with you because I felt the same exact way. But cancer doesn't have a cure. Long COVID, it does have a cure. So really thinking about all these people going through worse situations than me, I realized one big belief. This was new to me. It sounds silly. It sounds childish. So I'm being open and vulnerable with you. But that one belief, which I wasn't sure if I really believed it, but this one new belief in my life was life is not fair. Life is not fair. Life is not fair. Life is not fair. I honestly thought because I was a good kid, worked hard for others, selfless, good employee, good nurse, cared about my community. I thought, man, life is not gonna give me this disease forever. I'm a good guy. I eat healthy. I take care of myself. I do my best. I take care of my family. I take care of my patients, of my community. But the truth is that life is not fair. I mean, for you to see this, turn on your TV, turn on the news. Is life fair? Statistics shows that 49 million people around the world are slaves right now. Slaves around the world. 49 million people. Is that fair? There's kids being born with autism or Down syndrome. More than ever, the rates have been skyrocketing. Is it fair? Is that fair for that person to be born with this? Is it fair? 10% of the global population, 10% of the global population, that's a lot of people, are considered to be living in extreme poverty. They live on less than $2.15 a day. Is that fair? Is that fair? There are some people that are born into wealthy families and have major opportunities. And there are some people that are born into poverty. They didn't choose. Is that fair? Is that fair? You need to accept that what has happened to you is not fair. You need to accept that you're not the only one living these unfair circumstances. I'm not saying this is easy. I'm saying you must accept it to get better. You need to stop playing a victim. You need to stop feeling sorry for yourself. So after that tough love, what can you do? So the question becomes, how can I get better? How can I improve? Okay, Rob. Nurse Rob, you told me I'm not a victim. Nurse Rob, you told me tough love. Need to get up. You got to move forward. What do I do? Tell me what to do, Rob. And there are so many things you can do to get better. But we're going to start off with one thing, and that's working on your thoughts. Yep, sounds dumb, sounds too simple. Thoughts. Number one, you need to acknowledge your emotions. That's your number one step. You need to become aware of your emotions. So, for example, we're going to run an example with me, something I struggled. I felt hopeless. That was the word I really struggled with. I felt hopeless. That, for some reason, really killed me. So now that I become aware of that emotion, when you are aware of that emotion, there's thoughts behind that emotion. The question then becomes, what are the thoughts that create this emotion? Why do you feel this way? The reason I felt that way is because of one thought in my head, one thought that would always be repeated. It's something that I wasn't aware. That was something I was repeating until I did a lot of therapy. There's this one thing that came up with a lot of self-reflection. And there was this one thought: I will never get better. I will never get better. I will never get better. That thought was like this poisonous worm in my brain. It wouldn't go away. It was a belief that I was holding on to. Because I felt so hopeless for so long, I just thought to myself, I will never get better. And that made me feel this feeling of extreme hopelessness, despair. Number one, you become aware of your emotions. Your emotions have a thought behind it. What are those thoughts? Think about it. It takes time and it's not easy. Those thoughts are usually beliefs that we have. And that's why it's so important to look at those thoughts, because those thoughts can be beliefs ingrained in us and we are not even aware of it. Step number two, after you know your thought or your belief, you need to challenge it. Challenge this thought. Challenge this belief. And so the question you ask yourself, is this thought true? Is this belief true? And so I asked myself, is it true, Rob, that I will never get better? At the time for me, my truth was that I would never get better. I didn't have interviews on YouTube where I could go anywhere, look up long COVID recovery, and you'll see tons of interviews. You have my story. You have other people's story that you can go listen and watch. I didn't have that. The truth is you can get better. That belief and that lie of thoughts is not true. You can get better. So for me, it was a little different. For me, I really thought that was the truth. For you, it is not the truth, which is more amazing. It's awesome that it's not true for you. The third part, accept the truth. Whatever it is, accept. The truth for me back then was I would never get better. And so I had to work on accepting that truth. And it wasn't easy. But after accepting that truth, I had two choices. I can continue fighting this truth and be miserable and continue to fight for something that I thought was impossible, which was recovery. Or I can just accept that I'll never get better. But doesn't mean I had to be miserable. I could choose to not be miserable. Misery only exists in the mind. I can choose to not be in misery. The reason I was miserable is because I wanted something that I thought I could never have. And I said, well, Rob, the truth is that you won't get better. So you have two choices. Either you continue being miserable and fighting this idea that you'll get better, but you've never been able to get better, or you can just give in. Not give up, but give in. Accept that this is your new life. And with this new life, you can choose to hate it, be miserable, cry about it, be angry about it, or you can choose to accept, you can choose to embrace it, you can choose to be happy in it. That is accepting it. And so I, at this moment, decided to let go of all expectations people and I had on myself. I was no longer going to be the breadwinner of the family. I was no longer going to be a runner. I was never going to be this guy who's going to be able to hike mountains like I used to. I won't do another Ironman again. I won't do another marathon again. I won't be able to work as a hospital nurse anymore. I won't be that strong nurse that can work for long hours. I let go of all that. I let go of what people expected of me. I let go of expectations I had on myself. It wasn't easy, but I accepted what I thought was my truth. I decided to be happy with the new life that I had. I chose to be grateful and happy and live in joy for the new life that I had. This is not an easy process. I was tired of being miserable and unhappy because I couldn't do things anymore. And I said, you know what? I can't do things, but I will choose to be happy and smile and be joyful around others and myself, even if I can't do anything. I don't care. I will choose to smile and laugh and be happy around other people and be grateful that I am alive Even if I'm weak, I will choose that. I have a choice. I'm no longer a victim. I am not a victim. I choose to be happy. I choose to smile. And the fourth step to all this is practice your truth. Practice your truth. For me, it was hard, but I had to practice my truth. I had to stop listening to certain people that said, you got to go back to work. You're lazy. Oh my God, you're lying about this fatigue. I knew what was my truth. I knew that if I could, I would go back to work. I knew if I could run, I would go back to running. It wasn't easy letting go of these expectations, but I practiced that new truth. When I felt miserable and I had these emotions of despair, I said, nope, I'm not a victim. Not a victim. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm going to smile. I'm going to smile. And every time my wife sees me, I'm going to smile at her. She's going to see me and she's going to smile. She may be having a bad day, but she's going to smile. I'm no longer going to be upset at myself. I'm no longer going to not smile and be depressed. No, I am not a victim. I will not feel sorry for myself. I may not be able to go to work. I may not be able to provide for the family. I may not be able to run like I used to, but I will smile at others and I will sing karaoke as songs I like. I will feel happy, truly happy, and grateful for another day of life, of being another day with my wife, with my family, with my friends, because I'm not a victim. I will no longer feel sorry for myself. And practicing this truth more and more, I started to feel better. I just let go of everybody's expectations that burdened me down. It was this stress off my shoulders. I didn't care what people thought about it anymore. I don't care. My number one purpose was I'm going to smile, I'm going to have joy, and I'm going to be happy. There's no reason for me to be happy. I don't need a reason to be happy. I don't need a reason to have joy. I'm happy and joyful because I'm alive. I'm happy and joyful and I smile because I have life. I have life. And that for me was practicing my new truth. I was going to choose to be happy and not be miserable. I really hope this video helped. I know there's a little bit of tough love in the message. I know it's not easy to hear this, but I think this is one of the few things that really changed my life, that brought me back to recovery, was this, because I kept living in this state of hopelessness. And so I hope this video helps. I'm going to try to post more videos because I know there's tons of other questions and exercises. There's so much to cover. But I really do believe that your belief in your mind is really what's holding you back from recovering from long COVID. Yes, you can do the laughing yoga, you could do the yoga, you can do the breathing exercises, you can do the meditation. But I truly believe to have sustainable healing, you need to do the mind work, this work of belief and mind, because the mindset that you have, these beliefs that are ingrained in you, is what got you sick in the first place. And so those are the things I really want to work on. And so I hope that these are just one of the first few videos that can really help. Please thumbs up or like my video. Subscribe if you haven't, if you want to, if this is stuff that you're interested in. If you don't want to subscribe, totally get it. In the description of my video, I'm going to have a Notion blog where I pretty much have a blog post, which is pretty much a script of what I just said. And I usually will post things there first. I like to write. So please visit my Notion blog and take a read. Maybe you don't want to watch this at work, or you don't want to have headphones on. I totally get it. You're in a public place. Maybe you're just a big reader. I love to read. So please go to my blog, take a visit, see if you like it. Leave a comment below. Please share your experience with people. If you've healed or if you've brought some healing or any tips or advice for others on the channel, please comment. Maybe I'm not the teacher here. Maybe my videos are not the ones teaching you. I've learned from other people's channels and videos, not from the videos themselves, but from the comments. So please comment, help others down there. Really connect. Maybe it will help you. Also, if you have any questions, I don't do any coaching. I don't have a course. I don't sell anything. So, you can reach out to Instagram. I always love to chat with people that are going through a hard time. I give some tips to the people and I really try to help you. I have a Reddit post that really had a post about my long COVID recovery. It goes from pretty much head to toe. So if that's something you're interested in, it's more detailed and it goes really in depth. It's a great article. It's a great read, I think. And again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. If you guys want more videos, please tell me. Please encourage me. I say that because I have a 9-to-5 job. This is my scrubs for work today. It's 5:57 in New York on a Friday. I'm tired. I wanted to take these scrubs off a few hours ago when I get home at like 3:30. And I wanted to take this off. I didn't because I wanted to make this video because you guys keep asking me, please make another video. Please make another video. I'm tired. You know, I really don't want to make the videos, but I'm hearing you guys. I know that you guys are suffering. And, you know, there's certain people that reached out to me that said that after speaking with me or watching my videos that they've been a small contribution to them healing. And so even if I contribute small, it's a big deal. And it really motivates me to get back on the camera, make the script, and make this whole thing. It's not easy. I try to make it good for you guys. So please just encourage me. My wife constantly reads your comments. And I keep saying this because I think please comment and give her a lot of praise, because it's because of her is one of the biggest reasons why I created this channel, and one of the biggest reasons why I'm making this video. I know it's hard. I know what you're going through is not easy, but like I said in all my other videos, don't give up. You are worth too much to give up. So please don't give up on yourself. Keep fighting, keep trying, keep getting up. You're gonna fall again. Keep getting up. You're gonna fall again. Just don't stop getting up. I wish you guys the best. I'll see you in the next one.